My name's Raheem Kassam. I'm going to be emceeing for you today, ladies and gentlemen. And, you know, the situation here on Whitehall has changed a little bit. It's changed a little bit from the day for freedom. It's changed a little bit from the last time we were here. You might have noticed they tried to stop us coming here. Every time we've done this before, it has been predominantly peaceful, no matter what you read in the fake news media. And every time we've been here, we've had free access down this street, and we've proved ourselves time and time again to want to come here and talk about the issues. But this time, they wanted to stop us. Some of you were told this wasn't happening. Some of you were told you can't get up this way. Some of you have been stopped from bringing Sadiq Khan mockery balloons down here. Don't think I don't know it. Don't think I don't see it. I see what the police are doing. But I will say this. There can be no violence today. Not from the police, not from our side. I want all the media to hear this and report this. We are here for a peaceful demonstration to free Tommy Robinson. Oh, we know what the state is doing, and we're not going to play your games. If anybody provokes you today, if anybody attacks you today, it's on you to be peaceful, show self-restraint. If you need to, sit down, start filming. They are going to try to portray us as the bad guys. And we are not the bad guys. We are the good guys. You know, every time I do this, I have a sore throat afterwards, so I'm going to try not to shout today. But here's what I want to tell you. You know, we've done this several times before, and, you know, we hear from our loyal friends and speakers, our besties, who are here with us through thick and thin. Well, we got some new besties joining us today. We've got people from all around the world here today. We've got people from Belgium, we've got people from the United States, we've got people from France. We were supposed to have Geert Wilders from the Netherlands. I don't want to waste any more time because I'm so excited about not just who we have in person, but who we have video messages from that will play on the big screens here for you today. And I got to tell you, I'm very, very excited at our chances this coming week of bringing Tommy home. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the David Attenborough of Euroscepticism on the big screen for you. I want to play you a special video message from the UKIP member of the House of Lords, our favourite peer of the realm. It's Lord Pearson.
Let's go fucking middle. Let's go fucking middle.
Turn it up, guys. Turn it up. They can't hear. George, let's restart the video. Let's get the sound up. Don't worry, you're not going to miss any of it. Teething problems, teething problems. All right, as ever, I'm being asked to fill time. Listen, we've got people here from around the world who have, they've never heard that song before. What's that song you guys sing? I want to tell you a little story, by the way, while I fill time, about what just happened to me down the pub. As you all probably well know, I like to have a couple of pints before I come up here, just to loosen the vocal cords, of course. And a chap came up to me, and he had a Stop Tommy banner with him, right? And he came up to me and he goes, you know, Raheem, you're a very intelligent man, quite clearly. Well, thank you very much. I wouldn't have known that without him telling me. And he says, I just feel like you can do so much good in the world if you turned your attention elsewhere. No. So I said to him, look, I appreciate you coming over. I appreciate you being reasonable and rational and peaceful and wanting to engage in a conversation. He said, no. This isn't a conversation. And isn't that just the way? It's always the finger wagging. It's always the pointing. It's always the lecturing and the hectoring. They don't want a dialogue. They don't believe in democracy. They don't believe in free speech. I said to him, no, look, come on. Let's actually have a conversation. He said, no, I don't want to have a conversation. I said, all right, look, you're at the pub, I've got all my mates with me, you're a little bit intimidated, you're an Oxford University educated ponce. Let's have a conversation separately. Let's go for a couple of pints separately, or a cup of lapsang souchong tea, if that's what you want. And he said, no, I don't want to meet you. I don't want to talk to you. I will never talk to you. What's the bloody point? We're out here to have a conversation. We're here to foster dialogue. We're here to open up a conversation about the dreadful things that are going on in towns and cities all across the country. And you know it. And you know how you know it, by the way? Because most of you aren't from this shithole. Sadiq Khan's London, where knife crime is through the roof, where burglary is through the roof, where rape is through the roof. And what does Sadiq Khan do, by the way, this week? Yeah, you can fly your Trump baby blimp in Parliament Square. Hold on. I think instead of booing, let's laugh at them. By the way, that big blimp that was supposed to fly above our Parliament, that was a 5-foot blimp flying 10 foot high. Whoever paid £30,000 for that got mugged off. Oh, and that's why the left, that's why the socialists should never be allowed to run any economies anywhere in the world. You paid £30,000 for a balloon? Moron. Okay, fine. Look, I'm having my fun. You know, there was a guy in our country this week who, in 2016, got elected on a platform of controlled immigration, of putting his country and his countrymen and women first, of renegotiating the trade deals for his country, of making sure that the rest of NATO pays their fair share. We pay our fair share, the rest of them can pay their fair share. That man's name is Donald Trump. Now here's what I want to do. I want to send a message to President Trump right now. I want to send a message to the White House, and I will make sure personally that they get it. I want us to say, "We love Trump! We love Trump! We love Trump! We love Trump!" Come on!
We love Trump! We love Trump! We love Trump! We love Trump!
Mr. President, if you are seeing this, just know that the great deplorables of the United Kingdom love you, we are with you, we stand with you, and we want you to succeed. Forget about the people in London, forget about the establishment, forget about the detractors in the fake news media. The real people out there in the United Kingdom, we love you, Mr. President! How are we doing there, guys, with the audio back there? Are we ready? Are we ready for Lord Pearson? Or shall we introduce our first in-person speaker? Now, come on. Bloody right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, while we get the TV screens fixed up, I would love to introduce you once again to the great leader of the UK Independence Party. It's Mr. Gerard Batten!
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Whitehall. And as Raheem said, we want a nice, peaceful demonstration and rally. We don't want to let you be provoked by anybody. Okay, that's better. Now, before I speak about Tommy Robinson, I'd like to make a short announcement. Now, one of the founders of the Democratic Football Lads Alliance, Justin Smith, was arrested at Schiphol Airport on the 29th of May in the Netherlands. Now, many of you will know Justin Smith, I'm sure. He's been one of the organisers of previous rallies, and in particular, the Freedom of Speech rally held here on the 5th of May. Now, Justin has been detained in prison without charge, and he is now awaiting extradition to Switzerland on a European arrest warrant. And he tells me that this is on the basis of totally unfounded allegations. The circumstances of his arrest and detention are extremely suspicious. But he's asked me to let you know of his imprisonment and that his lawyers are doing everything they can to secure his release as quickly as possible. And he can tell you the full story when he gets out. Now, we haven't yet heard what Malcolm Lord Pearson is going to say, but I know that he's going to be talking about the efforts that he's making to ensure that Tommy Robinson is kept safe in prison and that he's released as soon as possible. Now, in my opinion, Tommy's sentence was not a free speech issue. What it does is raises serious questions about the fair application of the law. The questions are, was he really in contempt of court? Did he really breach the terms of his suspended sentence? And is 13 months a fair and proportionate sentence for his offence, if indeed he was guilty? Now, those things are debatable, but in my view, Tommy Robinson has been in prison much more for who he is and what he says, rather than what he is supposed to have done. Thank you. Now, I know Tommy isn't faultless, and I'm sure that he would be the first person to admit it. But he has now become a symbol of the opposition to so much that we know is rotten in our society. Some people will tell you that Tommy Robinson is a criminal, and he has indeed, on occasion, broken the law. But a real criminal is someone who defends upon the weak, who preys upon the weak and the defenseless. Tommy Robinson is somebody who has chosen to defend the weak and the helpless. Some people who have broken the law have gone on to become heroes and heroines. The suffragettes broke the law. They are now national heroines. Mahatma Gandhi broke the law. He was arrested and convicted 13 times between 1908 and 1942. He is now regarded as a national hero of Indian independence. Nelson Mandela served 28 years in prison for terrorist offences. He was actually conspiring to murder people, yet he is now regarded as an international hero. These people were convicted criminals, but history has judged that they were on the right side of a great cause. Now, Robin Hood broke the law. He hunted the king's deer in the king's forest, and he was technically a criminal. But Robin Hood defended his own people, while the Sheriff of Nottingham oppressed them. Whose side would you rather be on? Robin Hood or the Sheriff of Nottingham? Whose side do you want to be on now? Tommy Robinson or the political establishment? History will judge Tommy Robinson as being on the right side of a great cause in a struggle between good and evil. He talks about and combats the greatest social scandal in our history, the industrialised and commercial sexual slavery of underage and vulnerable children by organised paedophile rape gangs. This is the issue that the authorities did not want to confront for decades, and only now are reluctantly doing so. Almost every week we hear of a new paedophile rape gang trial. It's given minimal coverage in the media and then forgotten about until the next time. The great British media do not want to talk about the group identity of the majority of the rapists or the ideology that inspires them. The rape gang members are predominantly followers of the cult of Muhammad. They justify their crimes to themselves because of the ideology that they follow. Non-cult followers are lesser human beings. Women are the possessions of men. The founder of their cult was himself a paedophile and kept sex slaves. And yet he is held up to be the perfect model of a man for all times. But we, the infidels and the Kafirs, are not supposed to talk about it. And people who do face the possibility of prosecution under our so-called hate laws. So it's hardly surprising then, is it, that we now have a big problem with some of the more literally minded followers of the Mohammedan cult. Tommy Robinson's real crime is to be prepared to confront those issues when those in authority do not want to. Our great British media don't want to talk about it. Our political class don't want to talk about it. But Tommy was prepared to stand up against evil and is now paying the price. He will go down in fame. They will go down in infamy. Our government has become the enemy of its own people. Nowhere is that more obvious than in Mrs May and Brexit. 2 years ago, the British people voted to leave the European Union. Mrs May's proposal of last weekend shows that she intends to betray that decision. That betrayal is absolutely blatant, and she doesn't care that you know it's absolutely blatant. Mrs May is doing exactly what she was always intending to do. She intends to make a deal with the European Union whereby we leave in name but not in reality. The Leave side won the referendum against all the odds. Ordinary, decent British people voted to regain their freedom. Their desire for freedom will not be crushed. But the real fight is only just beginning. Both our Houses of Parliament are full of traitors, collaborators and quislings. The House of Lords contains convicted criminals much worse than anything Tommy Robinson's ever done. And they make laws over us. They must be swept away. We're governed by MPs who would rather see us ruled by Brussels than our own democratically elected countrymen and women. Now, it's great to see so many of you come out on a hot afternoon at rallies like these. But you know that our politicians do not care how many people, how many hundreds of thousands, or even how many millions turn out at rallies. The only thing that our treacherous political class cares about is losing votes and losing their seats. So we have to make that happen for them. If you want to make a difference, then you have to organise politically. And that means joining and working with and for a political party. Now, since becoming UKIP's leader last February, its members and I have saved the party from destruction. And we are building it up for the future. We are raising money. We are recruiting new members. And we are going up in the opinion polls. UKIP secured the referendum and won the referendum. But we have now to fight great battles for the future. I want UKIP to be a populist party. I want its policies to be popular with the majority of the electorate. I want UKIP to be the party of freedom. Freedom from the European Union. Freedom to live under our laws and not the laws made in Brussels. Freedom to live under laws made by a parliament of patriotic MPs, not a parliament of traitors. And I want to see freedom of speech. Not for that freedom to be abused, but the freedom to discuss ideologies and ideas without the fear of being arrested for voicing an opinion or stating a fact. I want us to have the freedom to speak the plain truth to each other. And I want us to have the freedom to once more be able to be openly proud of our own country's great history and our heritage. And not for our children and our young people to be told that it's something they should be ashamed of. And I want our descendants to be free, not to have to live under Islamic ideology. Islam, as Winston Churchill rightfully pointed out in 1898, is the most regressive force on earth. If you want those things, then I ask you to rally to UKIP's banner. be among the steadily growing number of people who are joining UKIP. UKIP is the only real opposition to the political establishment of Theresa's traitors and Corbyn's commies. Now, today, the 14th of July, is the 229th anniversary of the storming of the Bastille and the start of the French Revolution. We need a democratic revolution in Britain, a peaceful revolution through the ballot box. Only you, the people, can make that happen, and don't delay. Join UKIP, make us stronger, and help us carry the fight for freedom forwards. Or you may lose your freedom forever. The alternative to freedom is serfdom and slavery. The British have never chosen those things. Give Tommy Robinson something to celebrate when he comes out of prison. Thank you.
You know why they moved us? You'll remember the people who were here last time, they moved us further up Whitehall. They told us that, you know, Theresa May kept waking up in the morning with a certain tune in her head. She was eating her fields of Weetabix, singing to herself, "Oh, Tommy, 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 Tommy Robinson."